Horn here with Brett Dawson, Thunder beat writers for the Oklahoman, talking about another late night of Thunder transaction stuff. I was going to say history, but it's not history. Andre Roberson agrees to a 3-year deal with the Thunder tonight, Wednesday night, for $30 million.
That's correct.
And hey, they're bringing back most of the band.
It's a brand new band.
It's a brand new band, but they're bringing back some of the band.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of band members, and they're going to be doing things. But Andre Roberson, obviously, a big part of the Thunder's success these past 4 years he's been on the team in terms of his defensive impact. And how is he going to fit with Paul George and Patrick Patterson and this new group of Thunder players coming in?
They got it done at night because that's what the Thunder always does.
Yeah.
Can't get things done during the day. But this is a good move for them. This is a thing, Sam Presti told us at exit interviews in May or April or whatever that was, that, if Andre Roberson got to the point of an offer sheet, it was going to complicate things. It was going to make things difficult, going to make it harder for them to bring him back. Now, they didn't want it to get to that. He was motivated to come back. Thunder motivated to get him in. They get it done for 3 years and $30 million without him having to wait around for a long time and without him getting an offer sheet from somebody else that makes them have to go up above a number where they were comfortable. So that works out really well for them. This is a good move for them in the sense that he's an important piece of the culture. They view him as very important because of what he brings to them defensively, and just in terms of his effort, his energy, all the things, that the locker room presence, the degree to which guys like him. But also, as you mentioned, Paul George and Patrick Patterson. Now you've got another great wing scorer, a great wing scorer that you lacked last year in Paul George, who creates things and generates some space for everybody else. Patrick Patterson, who you can stick in the corner as a stretch four, is going to be a good three-point shooter. Now you can do some things with Andre Roberson, like you could do when Serge Ibaka and Kevin Durant were around. He can be on the block some, so you can invert that offensively. And then defensively, it's the same Andre Roberson, except now you pair him with Paul George, and maybe you've got the two best wing defenders in the league in terms of a combination, not number 1 and 2 in the league, but the best combination of two guys possibly.
There's a lot of things that are going to happen because Andre Roberson gets this deal. First and foremost is the Thunder is going to go into the luxury tax.
Yep.
They're going to be in that $125 million range once you factor in Andre Roberson's first year salary. The luxury tax line is $119 million. Keep in mind they can still get under that line as the season goes on. As long as they end the season below the luxury tax line, they're not going to be in a threat of having the repeater tax because they would be a luxury tax team in 3 out of the last 4 seasons. It's probably going to get done. I'm sure they'll find a way to finagle some salary, maybe stretch Kyle Singler's contract out. There's still an Enes Kanter deal that could potentially be done, even though Kanter would be, if he comes back, a great 6-man as he's been for the past couple of seasons for the Thunder. But it shows a commitment from the Thunder that, with Roberson coming back, that they're willing to go into the tax to be competitive this season.
Yeah, and we said over and over and over again, this team's not going into the tax. They're not going into the tax. But what we said was they're not going into the tax to re-sign Taj Gibson and Andre Roberson and bring back the core of a team that won 47 games. Yeah. That's hard to justify to ownership. That's a hard sell. They weren't going to do that. The fact remains they would not have done it. But Paul George does change your outlook. They've gone into the tax twice before, both times with Kevin Durant teams that they felt like had a chance to really be something. And I think they feel like this team has a chance to be something. So Paul George, he changes a ton of stuff off the court, but he also changes some philosophical things just in the way you view your approach and you view your sort of ceiling.
Thunder roster's filling out. They still have a $4.9 million trade exception that they can use to absorb a player in. Now, that would go to the salary once that player is absorbed, so that would kick them up to almost the $130 million range in terms of salary, so they'd still need to shed some to get back under that luxury tax line. But the big question, backup point guard, what's the Thunder going to do next? We're not entirely sure, but there are some options out there. There's still some players out there that can be had, and one of them is a guy who used to play at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Marcus Smart is a really intriguing possibility because Boston might need to shed some salary in order to get this deal worked out with the deal that Gordon Hayward has agreed to get it actually finalized and signed. They might need to shed some salary. Now, there's some reports tonight. There's some talk about a sign and trade. Maybe Jay Crowder would go to Utah in a sign and trade deal that brings Hayward back. And maybe in that situation, maybe Boston wouldn't have to shed salary, but that could also trigger a hard cap for Boston, and maybe they still would want to. So if there's a chance that Boston might want to move Marcus Smart for minimal return, so let's say a second-round pick like the Thunder has, a 2018 second-round pick from Chicago that they could move, in that case, Boston could take that on. They don't take on any salary. They shed his salary, and the Thunder could absorb him into that. He makes about $4.8 million, I want to say, somewhere around in there, and that trade exception is for 4.9, so that he would fit into that nicely. That's almost too perfect a fit, but it remains to be seen what Boston's going to do with him and what kind of offers Boston would get for him. There might be some more things that Boston finds more appealing.
Overall, the point, whatever. The Thunder's starting lineup seems to be set now, and we'll see what else happens in terms of free agency, trades. Plenty of offseason to go, but Andre Roberson coming back solidifies the Thunder's starting lineup for now. You got the Westbrook, Roberson, George, Patterson, Adams starting five. Seems like it could be a pretty good starting lineup.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting combination, guys. And they have a bunch of sort of lineup combinations they can play with coming off the bench as well. So they have a lot of elements they really lacked last year. This is a team that's gotten a whole lot better in the last week.
All right. Make sure to come back to newsok.com for all of our Thunder coverage throughout the offseason. And read the Oklahoman for our stories about Thunder things.